Hey friends, I'm Bale with Just One More Project, and I am super thrilled to share 3 holiday-themed laser projects that I think are so fun to incorporate with your family over the holidays. Now, the holidays go by so fast, and it's usually because your house is filled with people. So I've put together 3 projects that I think are super fun to do with your family, super easy to put together and prep, and really great to get everybody contained in one spot. So if that sounds like your jam, then let's get into it. So the first project that you can do with family is create your own earrings that you can decorate together and then assemble together. This is such a great activity because it is quiet. You can do it at a table so you can contain everybody around you, and you can pre-cut all of the pieces for your earrings and walk people through how to do it. So fun. So I have these cute little nutcracker earrings, and you can see that I painted all the details. I just used simple acrylic paint pens to do this. And then I wanted the nutcracker to have kind of like dangling legs. So these are all the pieces that go with his legs. So let me get all this assembled over here so that you can see what you're gonna need for this. Okay, here is what he's ultimately gonna look like. To assemble this, you're going to need your earring hooks, and you're going to need 8 jump rings, okay? And then of course you're gonna need to use jewelry pliers to assemble all of the pieces. So let's go ahead and assemble these. Okay, so the very first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna attach the legs on to each nutcracker. So all I'm going to do is take 2 pliers, one, and just kind of open that up a bit. We're going to get one piece in here and then one piece right through here. And then once you get that looped in, you're just going to push that back together like that. I've seen people do this with one set of pliers, and I honestly don't know how to do that. So I use 2 pliers. There we go. Okay, so there's one piece, and now you just want to open it up and loop it through, and then loop that piece through too. There you go. Okay, and then let's do the same for the other legs. All right, and then we've got our last leg, and it's almost ready. Now, of course, if you've got little kids, then you might need to help them with this part, but probably not the painting and decorating part. I think that would be so fun to do with little kids and family. Then you can make everybody wear them. How fun would that be? Okay, there you go. Look how adorable. And then you're gonna put the earring hook on, and I absolutely love these hooks. These are from Monarch Pine. I will link them below because you don't need jump rings for these. They're so great. All you gotta do is open up this top piece right here and loop it through, and so easy. Okay, so all you do is open this up. You can use 2 pliers if you want. So you just sort of like move it over to the side, just like that. Okay, so see, it's kind of open, and then you're gonna get this through your hanging hole. Okay, and then you're just gonna move it back over. That's it. How stinking adorable is that? Okay, let me get the next one put together and show you what they look like. And there you have have it. Super easy activity to do with your family over the holidays. The next project that you can make with your family over the holidays is these super adorable snowflake ornaments. Now, this is so easy to do and design yourself. If you don't want to design it yourself, the file is available in our project members 12 days of projects, and I'll make sure that I link that below so that you can access that if you feel like that's something that you'd like to do. So the supplies that you need for this project are a set of snowflakes with a hole in the middle. That's because you're going to string a piece of twine through all of them, and you're going to want them in various sizes. So you're going to want to start from large and go all the way to itty bitty, but you're going to want to make sure that the hole size is the same in every single one. Then you are going to need some wooden beads. You're going to need a tassel of some kind. You can make this yourself, or you can purchase a tassel, and then you're going to need something for the top of your ornament. And this eventually is going to look like an adorable Christmas tree. So this is the top, this is the bottom, and then we're going to make the layers of the tree with the snowflakes. So what you're going to need is grab some twine and make it longer so that you can cut it down later. So mine is about maybe like 15, 16 inches. So here's my twine. I'm going to start by stringing my twine through my tassel. There we go. I am just going to tie a knot so that my tassel is secured to my twine, because this is going to be the bottom of my Christmas tree. And it actually looks so pretty with a tassel. You don't have to do a tassel if you really don't want to, but it elevates the look so much. Okay, so I've got this tied in 2 knots, so it is nice and tight. And we're going to cut off that excess right there. Okay, and then you're going to take the top end right here. You're going to string the largest snowflake through first. So you're going to find your hole all the way through. There you go. Then you're going to want to grab one of your wooden beads and string it through. Okay, and now this is going to serve as kind of like a spacer, because then we're going to put the next size up through here and string it all the way through, and you can see it's kind of got like a nice space in between. And don't forget to do the wooden bead, because I forgot a few times and had to go pull everything out. Okay, and then I've got the next size up, and then we've got another bead, and then the next size up. Now I think I have about 7 layers. You can make this as big as you want, as small as you want, whatever you like. It's just such a pretty look when it's done. Okay, so I've got my bead in there, and then I've got my next size up right here, and then my bead. Look at how cute that looks. Oh my gosh. Okay, and then your bead, and then you've got your very last snowflake on the top. String it all the way through, and I am going to add one more bead to the top. You don't have to, but I think that it closes it off really nicely. And then I'm going to tie as a little loop right here. Okay, let's tie it one more time, and this is where I'm going to put my topper on. Now you can use a ribbon. This is just like a little ribbon with a twist tie. You can use anything you want for a topper. You can even laser cut a topper if you want and string it through. But I've got this. It's super easy to just grab a twist tie and then twist it just like that. And I'm going to tuck the excess right behind that knot so you can't even see. And there you go. Look at how adorable. And that is another project that you can do with your family over the holidays. Okay, and the last project that I think is so much fun to do with family over the holidays is any kind of magnet that you can stick on the refrigerator, especially if you can add a photograph to it. So much fun, and this is so great to get the entire family involved. So the supplies I used for this are white acrylic. I have kind of like a brown acrylic, and then a darker shade of brown for the top of the frame, and then of course a photo, and then you're going to need a magnet to attach to the back. So definitely not so many supplies to do something like this as a family. You can pre-cut all of this stuff stuff prior to, and then just kind of assemble everything together when you have people over for the holidays. So super fun. Let's go through and I'm going to walk you through how to do this. Again, I mentioned earlier, all of the files for these projects are available in our 12 days of projects. This is something that we do in project members every year, and this year we've got 12 projects that our members get to make every single day for 12 days, and it is so much fun to just stop and make stuff rather than learn. So if that's something that you're interested in, I have that linked below. Feel free to check that out. But I am going to go ahead and peel the masking off of this so that we can get this assembled. So I have the back layer right here, and then I have the outline layer. Normally I would have a 3M backer on this, but I did not use material with 3M on the back, so we're just gonna use adhesive. So I am going to glue this on using this adhesive. It's called iCraft Ultra Bond, and the reason I love it is because it has this super fine tip. So when you have things like this, you can easily glue it on. I'm kind of careful with how much I use. Okay, so we're just gonna set this right in place. Okay, so now there's a space right here. I've already pre-printed the photograph. There is a template in here that you can cut this out with. So if you do not want to cut it out by hand, you can use your laser. But again, if you're doing this with family and you want to have everyone kind of making alongside you, it might be fun to add the cutting step in there. Okay, so we're gonna cut this piece out. Okay, so this should fit really nicely in here, and so I'm just gonna put a dollop of adhesive right here. And we're just gonna plop that right in place. And then I have another piece that's kind of gonna serve as like a border, but it is actually a tad bit smaller than this. And that's honestly meant to hold the photograph in place. So let's just add a little bit of adhesive here and plop that right where it goes. And there you go. Look at how adorable. Okay, so cute. And then of course you're just gonna put your magnet on the back. My magnet has 3M already on it. So let's just peel this off. There you go. And we're just gonna stick that right on the back right there. And there you go. What a fun holiday craft to do with your family. Okay, friends, these are just a few of the projects that are available in our 12 days of projects, which is available to our project members community. Now, this is a festive collection of laser cut projects that really help you stop and just create. There's no agenda. There's just time to sit down and make. And so if that is something that you'd like to do, I would love to invite you to check that out in the link below. And again, if you love these kind of projects, I would love for you to hit that subscribe button and follow along for more laser projects and inspiration. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.